Welcome to Cali's Take. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, also hit the notification bell so you can get the newest content first. But hey, let's just go ahead and jump right in. So, all the point guard talk we hear is about, the Clippers getting another point guard. And you're starting to hear some talks about them getting another big man as well. And, when you hear these things, you got to be weary because you got to understand that a lot goes with this. A lot comes with this. The Clippers as a team, as a whole, they have all the necessary pieces in a lot of people's mind to win the championship. I said the same thing in the beginning of the season with the John Wall experiment, which I think, honestly, the John Wall experiment to me has come to an end, for the Clippers. Because to me, John Wall, as I said in the beginning, I didn't know how John Wall would be because, like I said, his game is good. It's fast paced. It's solid. It's all those things, but he's never been a high IQ point guard to me only in regards to winning championships. He's a high IQ point guard in regards to playing at a high level because he's in the NBA, of course. But when it comes to winning championship, you have to turn it up a notch. And you got to take your game to another level to be a champion. So in regards to that, I didn't know how John Wall would fare. Now, as I said before, I haven't seen that much from him this year to really base upon whether he's a good fit for the Clippers or not. He hasn't played much, and he's also had injuries like he does now. And that's another thing I feel like that's hurting John Wall's case because injuries on top of him not really fitting with the Clippers in regards to what they need. They need a point guard that's more like a Fred VanVleet, like a Mike Conley, somebody like that. They need a point guard more of that caliber. To me, that can, run an offense and, not be selfish and, less turnovers, more in control of his game, understanding where the ball needs to go, understanding when he needs to score, and be able to stretch the floor and knock down a jumper. And see, that's the things, and some of those qualities, John Wall has, but there's a few of them that he's missing. And the few that he's missing hurts the Clippers the most because when we talk about stretching the floor, knocking down jumpers, John Wall can't do that. When we talk about, John Wall not turn the ball over at crucial times in the game, to help the Clippers, put them over the hump at times. There's a lot of times you watch John Wall in big moments. He doesn't do that. He turns the ball over in big moments. We've seen him at his best days on the Wizards in the playoffs, where him and Bradley Beal, a lot of people thought him and Bradley Beal, would be, a premier, contender, a playoff team, back then, when him and Bradley Beal were together and everything. But there were games where he made crucial turnovers at the wrong time in the fourth quarters, and the other team took the momentum and they never gave it back. And I've seen him do things like that. Also, his little short tenure here with the Clippers, he's done the same thing. He's had a few games in the fourth quarters where, he's turned the ball over at certain times in the fourth quarter where the Clippers might have been trying to make a run, and he turns the ball over like back-to-back times, and it's like, oh, that just takes the wind or the air out the stadium or out the arena because the Clippers fans and along with the Clippers know their chances of winning that game is probably slimmer now because not only the other team has the momentum, but they were also given or blessed with a gift, which is a turnover that gave them easy points, where the Clippers are, making and taking harder shots rather than getting easier shots because of their lack of continuity on the floor as a team. And these are the things I feel like John Wall are not great at, that the Clippers really need to be great at to win a championship. Because to me, to win a championship, you need somebody who can control the floor, who is unselfish. Now, I will give John Wall that. He is unselfish. He will play, he will pass, he will do those things. But John Wall, to me, is like I said, he's not the player he was on the Wizards. And he shows flashes of it, but even that player on the Wizards wasn't a championship point guard. He was just a good top 10 point guard or top 5 point guard in the league at that time because of his speed, how fast he was. He was an all-star. He made the all-star team a few times. And, he was, revered as a really great talent, a great talent, all-star caliber player, borderline superstar, So with that being said, it takes more than that to win a championship. And, right now the Clippers are aggressively, when you look at the reports and everything like that, and what I'm hearing from certain sources, the Clippers are aggressively looking for a point guard because they see what John Wall gives is probably not going to put them over the top or put them over the hump, because John Wall is really good, but he's good in moments. He's good in increments. He's good in certain situations. He's not good in situational basketball. And when I say situational basketball, that means you need to be adequate, good in every situation that comes along, because obstacles come in a 7-game series. Obstacles come when you're facing a team that that has advantages. Their advantages over you is your weaknesses. So when you have weaknesses over or under a team who has more of advantage than you got to have more savvy guys. You got to have more high IQ guys to get over the hump and beat that team. That's how sometimes you see teams win 7-game series or win games where it's like, the other team was better and the other team played well. It's just that the team that wasn't as good used their savvy and they used their veterans. They drew fouls. They were aggressive. They did all the little things that helped them propel past that game or past that series, even though they might not have been the team that was picked to win it. And that's how it goes. And the problem with the Clippers is the most important position on the floor really for them is the point guard position, because like I said, Ty Lue is asking Kawhi and PG to go out there and average 6+ assists a game. And yeah, that's okay if they can do that, but that's additional. That's not something that comes with them. That's not really their game. That's just something additionally that they add to the team. So they really need a point guard because it'll take less pressure off of them. And on top of that, they won't be as tired when the regular season is over and the playoffs start. They'll be ready. They'll be fresh. They'll be, ready to go. And like I said, they'll have more energy, because if they're playing point guard and playing 25, 30 point scorer every night, if they're doing that, they're going to be wore down by the end of the season. And that's not going to be good because, like I said, both of these guys have health issues. So you don't want them to be worn down, because fatigue causes more injuries, and you don't want that to, come into play, because the Clippers do have an opportunity to win. So you want to make it as easy as possible. And the only way to do that is getting a point guard, and getting a point guard that you can trust in dire need and situational situations that can deliver at a high level. He might not knock down the game-winning shot, but he can make the game-winning pass. He can get it to Kawhi in his spot where Kawhi knocks down the game winner. He can get the ball to PG in his spot where he can knock down a game winner, this is what I'm saying. Like, they need that high IQ guy that makes less mistakes. And to me, right now, where they are, they're in talks about, Van Vliet and Mike Conley, and that's pretty big for them. I'll give them that, but they got to find a way to come through on one of those, because the Kyrie thing, their name was in the hat for that and the drawing for that. It didn't work out. Maybe they didn't have enough of what the Nets were looking for in return, but apparently Dallas did. So shout out to them. But at the same time, as I said, the Kyrie situation, they might have actually, came out to the good on that one based upon my last video. If you want to check that out, my other video, you can check that out about the Kyrie situation. But yeah, the Clippers definitely need to look into the point guard situation, heavily, because I don't know if John Wall can do it. And I don't really know at this point if they believe in John Wall, whether he can do it. And really, that's the main thing. More than anything, I don't know if the Clippers as an organization believes in John Wall to be that point guard they need. I mean, I feel like they thought he could be in the beginning. And then on top of that, maybe the Clippers looked at it like this too. Getting John Wall in the beginning wasn't a bad thing, the beginning of the season, because they didn't have to give up much to get him. And now they're talking about, a possible buyout, if they can't trade John Wall, is what I'm hearing now. So, I mean, you're hearing these reports and things like that. I mean, John Wall was in the same situation with the Houston Rockets, because John Wall is really not the player he once was. And the player he once was good, but I didn't think he was a championship caliber type point guard. So, I mean, when you look at that in its entirety, where does that leave John Wall? It doesn't leave him nowhere except asked out, basically. And, the fact that Kawhi Leonard said, he was open about a week ago, he was open, to looking into a point guard. You heard talks about that and reports about that. So that says very little about John Wall. And I still think John Wall's got game. I do. I just don't think he has game enough to help a team propel to win a championship, because he never had that type game before in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, he's still a talented player. He still can play. Like I said, I don't know what the Clippers are going to do, but like I said, the reports out there are saying if they can't trade him, they're going to buy his contract out, or they're at least going to think about it. So if that's being reported and put out there, John Wall has to, get healthy as quickly as he can, and they're going to have to find a way to, get somebody else in there if they can, because I said before, if they get Fred VanVleet or Mike Conley, they have a really good chance of winning the championship with, Kawhi and PG. I mean, as their two star players. So, I mean, you add somebody like Mike Conley in there who can give them, substantial minutes and things like that. I mean, hell, I'd like to see Mike, win a championship if he could. He played a lot of years without winning one, without the opportunity. So that'd be good for him. Plus, I really would like VanVleet more as the point guard, because I trust VanVleet, because I've seen him in Toronto with Kawhi and Norman Powell. They won a championship, and he's very trustworthy, and he can knock down some huge shots whenever you need him to, whether he's off the bench or whether he's in the game. VanVleet is a weapon, and he's always valuable. So we're gonna see what happens, but in regards to the point guard situation, which is crazy right now for the Clippers based upon the reports, and we're just gonna wait and see how it all unfolds. But hey, that's my take on everything. Leave any comments in the comment section. Also, check out my other videos if you haven't, and hey, till next time.